welcome back to another live of us. Welcome back to our live today. I am really appreciative and I'm so delighted. I love this live because it's more of a personal, it's more of conversational, it's more of we engaging and also understand that no one is perfect on the journey. So that's why I decided to create this corner, Founders Corner, me myself, to tell you and to inform you that what is going on is realistic. What is going on is what we are going to be sharing under these lives every week, week 2 of the month. But we are going to start with this summer moment, a question which has been on people's mind. Enid, why best self? Why best self? So this is what I'm going to talk about today. But with times of weeks coming and month coming, you will understand that this is more of we are going to be sharing how I plan my journey, how I plan my content, how the weakness and the challenges we get, and how we can overcome them. I'm saying all this to wait for you to join. So, this is where you sit and let's understand that we interact. This is not a journey that it needs to be perfect. This is a journey whereby everyone passes through at least fires to reach where they are right now. So I'll be sharing different kinds of things, most especially what I do behind the curtains, what I do behind the scenes, and what you have never thought of that it can be possible to be done. So anyone and expect much, expect me sharing my personal stories and also showing you exactly what is going on in, behind the curtains, as we said. Today, I think let's get started. And the reason why the reason why I started this live is that most people are telling me, Enid, we need to see how you do your work. So that's why I started it. And I started with what exactly best self is, because this is the very, very, very question which is being asked me every single time. Wherever I go, when I tell them I have a YouTube channel or something like that, they say, what does it mean? What name do you use? Best self. And why did you create best self? Why exactly? Why do you deal in? What is your audience? So today you're going to get to know exactly the birth of best self within it. Best self. Before that, I need you to introduce yourself. First of all, my name is Enid. I'm here, not someone who is an expert in it, but I'm someone who has passed through the journey and is on another side of the journey to guide you, to help you, to teach you, while in the same thing to learn from others. So we are here to help each other, to tell you what I have discovered, what has worked for me, and what can work for you. That's what is all about. So today, that is, if you're new here, this channel is all about that. It's a journey. We move in different kinds of journeys. So expect much to see. This live is very, very important because this is our introduction live about the channel. And if you feel like you want to understand exactly what is going on, I want to see, just leave your name and where you come from, where you are right now, what inspired you to join, who invited you, and how did you share. So I want to hear all that. But first of all, let's understand why exactly I started this. This is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a story. Why exactly I started this? This is a story from what I experienced few years ago. I was a lady who had it all, a lady who aspired to be in an industry which could bring everything. So, all my life, all my experience from being a kid, I have experienced a journey in different categories, in relationships, in marriage, in my workplace. I've also experienced a journey in one-on-one, that's friendship, all that stuff. And I got to realize that there is a purpose why I've been experiencing this. And that purpose is what this channel is all about. But today I'm going to share a little bit about what even inspired me more to start this. Actually, what triggered the pain, because it was too much. It was this too much which brought empathy in me, which brought even pain, cries, because I experienced it in a hardest way. I got married I got married, and I spent a few years. But in that process, before I went into there, I was a woman who used to have an industry, was as in a fashion industry, running it. It was really good. It was working. I thought it's enough. It's beautiful. It's really nice. So eventually, along the way, this is when I realized something. When my mother and my parents decided to wake up and tell me, Enid, you've now done everything. So come, bring us a man. So sometimes we make a decision, and when you make a decision, you make it through fire, through pain, through fear, through maybe what people think of you. So I made a decision which at first, I regretted it when I entered into it, but eventually, I decided to turn it and see it in another version. So when I entered that marriage, this is where I experienced something. I went my marriage because I wanted to be loved. To my understanding, me, I thought when you get someone to love you, you just maybe to go, you will need to go to marriage, as in enter into marriage. So sometimes I went into marriage because I wasn't forced, but because of the noise from the parents, because of the noise from people around me. So I didn't make a decision because it came from me. I make a decision because of the associate, as in the surroundings around me, and I entered into. But what I found there, it was it is hard even to explain. It was bitterness, it was different kinds of things. I experienced toxic domestic marriage, mental life, and I decided to lose the identity I have. What I had before, it started to vanish, it started to disappear, it started to become something else. And in the process of losing my true identity, I started to lower my speaks. I started to slink myself, and I started to lose the voice I had before. I started to go quiet. I started to stop whatever I thought it is mine. And I started living the life I thought it is good for me. And in that process, that's when I became someone who was and someone who suffered the more. And this is what most women pass through. I don't I'm not talking about only marriage, but you can be in a workplace, maybe in a relationship, or maybe in marriage, when what you had before is not who you are right now. And this is something very dangerous, meaning you have shrinked, you have become someone different to someone who used to be. That's when I realized in it, I think I'm on a wrong direction, because I lost my true identity, I lost my voice, I lost the braveness I had and the courage I had in the first place. I lost everything. First of and the most important thing, I lost the business I had, and everything went off. I had nothing. I went at zero just because of the decision I made from the start. So in that process, when I'm in that silence, that's when I realized one thing. I'm not the only person passing through this, meaning there is a different version of circumstances what people pass through. It could be in different categories, but people experience that. But me, the lucky thing is that even when I was talking to different kinds of people for help when I'm in that marriage, yes, the encouragement, the counseling, the what was real. But what they didn't know or what they missed was one thing. They did not know what I was passing through. And I realized something, that all the decision, it was not their decision. Even if I did a mistake, that to allow them from the beginning to make for me, this time I needed to be very specific. I said, you know what? If I did the same mistake, I can't do it the second time. That's when I had to wake up and I make a decision. And that decision was to stand up and I start a new journey. I know courage, as in the courage and the braveness, was really hard for me to start. It took me months to decide. It took me years because I planned this the day when I said I do, because that's when I started experiencing the toxic domestic violence I experienced. And when I made that decision, things did not stop there. Things started escalating even after, until I left that side to the other side of this. So when I went out, I sat down and I revised, and I reflected about my life, my childhood, my youth, and even my elder life. And I realized one thing, that I have been moving in a different journey. And this journey, yeah, it has been teaching me different things. Actually, to understand that, it took me long. And I realized that, to stay with what I have learned, to stay with what I have experienced, to help, to stay with what people want me. So, what I should do is to at least find a way to teach others, to help others to understand what exactly they should do in that process when they experience that. So, this is the time when I had to wake up and I say, I think I need to start something. So here comes, this is where the best self came in. Best means, to me, best means is a name which it is a name of a journey. It has different journeys which I pass through to reach where I am right now. I know I'm still on a journey and I'm still on the last phase, by the way. I'm on the last phase because all these I've trained them, I'm practicing them, while now I'm doing my best to see that I thrive and go to the last page, last journey. But here I'm here to guide you and to help you. But the word best self, someone asked me, yeah, that sounds good. The best sounds good. Yeah. Best means, yeah, Carol. Thank you, Carol. I'm seeing you. I love you. Thank you. I love 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 you. All right. So the best means that in every life we need to build our lives. And how do we build them? We build them through the journey. So what I call the journey is that when I go back to my life, I had a very bad foundation. It's like building a house. It's like waking up and you decide to build a house. Remember, when to come at the conclusion of building a house, this is where you wake up and stand and say, you know what? I think I need a house. You buy the land, you buy everything, you experience. But before buying all that, you have been in renting for the long time. So you have known the challenges, the weaknesses, the what. So here is what I'm talking about. And this is corresponding to what I'm talking about right now. I realized one thing in this process, that we need to build our foundation, and Bill represent building our inner foundation. Everything we are building, it does not start from the outer bit we see. Whatever you are building, if you're building from the outer part, obviously you are building on a sound foundation. Anytime it will break, anytime it will be destroyed, because it does not have a foundation of what exactly is needed. But if you build it from the inner foundation, the bit of the inner, you understand who you are, what are your values, who are you supposed to be, what am I supposed to be, that's principles you put in place. That's why I decided to call it build your inner foundation. When it comes to E is more of the mind. Remember, we are in a situation, most especially people are in a silent situation. They don't know what to do, they don't know where to start from. They made a mistake, they cannot even cry for other people because they cannot understand them, but their mind is still fixed, and their mind is still, it's like it has ice, it is still in the fridge. They don't know how to see the situation and turn it into an opportunity of becoming their best self. So that's why I decided to create E, to make it elevate the mind, because this is the time you need to change your mind and how you think, how you see things, how you imagine, to bring your personality out of what situation you're passing through. And the S means structure life for growth. This is very funny because I thought in my beginning, in my story, I remember when I was in these circumstances, I thought it's a matter of praying. And then when you pray, all things will happen miraculously. But that is a big lie we normally tell ourselves. Even the Bible is very clear. You need to have an action. So this is where I started to say, you know what? I need to structure life for growth. And when I structure life for growth, it means you have to put systems in place. You have to put actions in place. You have to put routines in place. You have to discipline yourself. You have to know that this journey moves with actions. It does not move with only what you believe. It moves with actions. And that's why I decided to put this, because this is what it helped me to be brave enough to stand and decide what I decided in the private. because all what you do, you have to do it in private for because that's what you believe in. And the last thing means is to thrive. Thrive means is any skill you have, whatever you have built, whatever you know best, you can produce it and be you and build the growth you believe in. And this is where my question is, or this is where I decided to understand what growth is. What I believe growth is to me, it was more of controversial to what people see or to what people know. People know that when your growth is about the success around you. True, but to me it is something vice versa, regardless of what I know well and understood that the the believing of yourself that growth is that. To me, I understood that when you believe in yourself, when you understand yourself, when you become yourself, that's what we call the growth. Because you have started the journey of being you, not being what they want you to be, not being what exactly they want you to be. And that is what I believe with growth. And that is what I believe with the growth coming on. So this is where I decided, you know what? I called it best self, and the meaning of best self means that all things starts with you. If you want to grow, if you want to become, if you want to see growth, if you want to see the major thing in your life to come to reality, you need to follow the journey. The journey does not start from the end. It always has a beginning. And the beginning, it's like building a house, as I said. The moment you master the beginning, it is easier for you to maintain the end. It is easier for you to be in a version you wanted you to be. That's how Best Self came into exist. And I obviously put my name because I'm the brand of it. And that's how also growth comes in because it's a journey. So, and this is why I created this channel in the first place. According to what I've passed through or what I've really passed through, I realized that many of us we are in that circumstances. Many of us we are in a situation. It may be a toxic environment, a workplace, maybe relationship, maybe marriage, or even before you go into that marriage. What I call the life challenges, the life transmission, the life things which are happening overnight. Sometimes you don't know where to start from. And we experience this pain without even knowing how to start our journey in the first place because life is real. And the truth, life is real. If you cannot manage your life, if you cannot see your life grow, meaning something has to be done, something has to wake up and see how you can grow and be the woman you're supposed to be. So, because it's a journey, I decided to start the YouTube channel, and I realized because it is not just in my country, it is all over the world. So, my target couldn't be only this. So, I decided to find it and start doing it slowly by slowly. That's why I built this to help those ladies, to help women, to build them, to nurture them, to help them to at least see what they cannot see, to be their eyes. I know I'm not going to be all their eyes in their future, but to be their eyes to see what they can't see and tell them what they can do, to guide them on the journey, to help them build them, bring back the courage they have, the voice they had. At least that they get to understand that even when you start, someone at least is there to guide me. They are not alone in this. Me in my situation, the truth, I was alone. I even remember the times when I used to cry asking God, God, when will this situation come out of my way? But no answer at all because it will only want that situation only wanted me to take an action. But eventually I had to become brave enough to decide. So this is a journey and this is a community where which can help you to grow, which can help you to build yourself back, which can help you to build the voice which you have been missing, which can also help you to learn the baby steps. We don't need to be experts. We just need to start and leave our comfort zone. We just need to see that this is what we are supposed to do and this is where we are going. You need to believe in yourself because that is one thing I realized that that how you believe in yourself, it requires you to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, that is what is growth is all about. Growth is not all about the money we need right now. Growth is all about what you believe in. You start with baby steps, and step by step, you reach where you're supposed to be. This is something hard for the beginners, but the more you come forward, the more you understand yourself. That's when you realize that I'm on a journey, and a journey is a process. You don't expect it to happen overnight. You expect it to work and always coming on and off, sometimes a week, sometimes a this. So eventually you stand because you have a community, and that's why Best Self with Enid YouTube channel is all about that. It guides you and it moves with journey. I don't move with only one thing. I move with journey because all is required in this process. If you want to see growth, if you want to see yourself grow, if you want to see someone different in your life, if you want to see a different version you have never expected before. And this is what I have seen on the journey. So just see, imagine, let's say, imagine yourself after this year, maybe like 2 years from now, a woman who was in a silent mode, could not even speak, could not even say anything, could not even just to shillink because she wanted to fit in any circumstances. Now she starts because she has been building back her life. She has understood her identity. She has now known what she wants and what she does not want. She has put principles and land boundaries, and now she's building. Come 2 years from now, you're a different woman. Maybe you are making a decision before you go to the relationships, or maybe that workplace, and you decide and first ask yourself these questions. Are they in line with what I've built in myself? Are they in line with what I'm creating? Just see yourself after those 2 years. You're going to be a better woman. And that's what we are building here, to see ourselves from now. When we have built what we just dreamed years ago, now they are in reality. Now we have come from the pain and turned that pain into the progress, into the growth, into our purpose, into our likings, and become the better version of ourselves. That is the journey I actually in the beginning I underestimated. But when I started the journey, that's when I realized, oh, I think I'm on the right track because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And that was the truth, because this is where I learned different kinds of things. I learned moments of my life. I learned who I am before even anyone told me that, Enid, you're this. I learned even I was a fearful woman. I could not express myself, but now I can sit and whatever I speak, I know I speak it from the heart. So, but last time I could not do all this. And this is what I want with women. That's why we created this channel. That's why I will put this channel in the first place, to guide us, to help us, because I know what I passed through because I'm on the other side of life. Right now, it is guiding you, women. Let's wake up. Let's leave our comfort zone. Because the moment we leave our comfort zone, this is the time we need to stand. We are architects of our own lives. No one is going to take charge of you. You are the person who's supposed to wake up and say, you know what? I know I have passed through a lot. I have experienced the moment. I have realized the pain. But is the pain going to be the solution for you? Just turn it and become positive and stand. That's what we are doing here. What I passed through, I made it to be the experience I had. It became something I help with women right now, something I built to help women, what I learned on the journey to guide them. Because I'm now not on that side, I am now on another side. And I don't see myself doing the same things I did before. Why? I know who I am, I know my voice, I'm brave enough to stand no matter the circumstances, and I know my purpose. So that is the journey I always talk about. That's why I created Best. And it all starts with you. It all starts with we. You. No one is going to wake up and say, not Enid, I think I'm going to run your journey. No, no. I'm telling you that no. No one is going to run your journey. Everyone has a particular journey to stand. Everyone has a potential to stand. You are in that circumstances, you are in a pain, maybe a toxic marriage, a domestic violence stuff. You don't know how to come out. this best self within the channel will help you, because it brings you from the baby step. You don't need to be an expert. You just come from the baby step, you come out, you stand, and start your journey. Because something without a foundation, I'm telling you, even if you build it without a foundation, it will crumble. You will never gain from it. But if you start small with understanding yourself, by the time you reach the journey where you want, that is the very big part, because you know what you have been teaching yourself on the journey, what you have learned, the mistakes you have seen, and eventually you reach where you are. That is the best with understanding yourself. And that's how you become your best version. And that's how you understand the skills, what I can do best, how can I build myself, how can I stand even in that circumstance. Pain is just something which is there, but make it invisible for yourself to come out and start the journey and be you. I remember when I went out, I first moaned for almost 2 to 3 months, and my sister told me, Enid, it's better to start something than crying, because I was crying not because it is painful, but the years I wasted, the potential I had, and it went dry. It corrupt, as in it was destroyed just because of one compromise. I knew, but I didn't listen to my instincts, because I wanted people to decide for me, because I wanted love. I thought love, I'm going to get it from, so that right now I love myself. I don't need to look for love from someone. I respect myself. I know, because whatever you build in you, it attracts what you want. So let's engage in ourselves and learn. Let's be we. Let's become we. And that's all about best self with Enid. And that's what we are building on this channel. So because we are on this channel, I created resources to help you, the resources to guide you. We can't do this just because you want to listen, just to listen to someone. We are building a system to help us go further. I created something which is called Where Did I Lose Myself? It has check-in reflections, questions which can guide you as a startup. It's a free of charge. Just find it in the description. It helps you to at least find your way back when you're in that circumstances. You might be a woman, stay-home woman, stay-home mother, or you might be a career person. You want to start a journey, or maybe you are in a relationship right now, but you don't even have a way to do it, either a relationship or marriage. So that can help you to start your journey. You don't need to pay anything, just grab it. It's a free of charge. It will help you. Also, you can be watching these videos in regard on understanding and learning more, because this journey, it needs a hand, which I didn't have before. It needs you to have a hand. Without a hand, you're nothing, because you can't do it alone. You're not that perfect. And what will have worked in 1 year, it can take you 7 years. So we don't have that time. The time we have is to wake up, stand, and build ourselves. That's what we do here. To build ourselves, to leave the comfort zones of crying, waiting to bring us waiting to bring the meat, as in to bring us the milk to take. We are not in babies anymore, but what we know right now is to understand that the seasons of comfort zone are dead. The seasons of comfort zone are no more. And this is what we are building here. I would love to hear questions from you. Thank you, Joy, for joining. Carol, I've seen you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Any question before we dive into our last moment of the birth of BestSelf with Enid? It's been just a conversation, a story talk, where we have been talking about exactly why this channel, what the story behind it, why BestSelf. And because of that, we have seen ourselves grow. So the woman who was desperate. Let me say that. Not knowing who she was before, she's now the woman in front of you, guiding and helping you to start this journey. This is not an easy thing, but it takes you to be a brave and courageous. It takes you to take actions, and those actions is what I talk about, that without actions you cannot go anywhere. And obviously, but above everything, what we do is also by the grace of God. This journey, you can't do it alone. That's why every single bit of my life, it is guided by God. And I tell you, your journey is also guided by Him. Because that one person, actually, that the Father we have is the someone who supports us, who knows the Christ. I remember when I was on the journey, God, I remember when I was in that circumstances. One thing I remember, I cried to God. He was the only savior in that moment who can understand my situation, who can give me hope. So, this is the time that never underestimate the power of Him. He's the best in everything. So, we need to appreciate Him, but above all, it takes choice, it takes the willingness from you to stand and become the woman you are supposed to be. Hope this has helped you, and hope this is where it starts from. All right. Any question? All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So, if you want to join or become one of our members on the committee, as in the community, just subscribe to be part of this community. Beside that, next week I'll be talking about something else. I'll be going live. Even we normally have our monthly reflection lives, because reflection is the hardest part in everything. Some people don't have even time to do it, but if we have 1 month evening just to reflect about our lives, to see where we are going, so meaning we need to track the progress of our lives. So if you have a question, just let it in the chat, and I'd love to hear from you. If you want to communicate with me when maybe you have a question or something, I've shared my email in the chat. If you want a freebie, as in something to start with, which you can use, which I call the Where Did I Lose Myself? Just find it in it. And above all, don't forget to share this video with people. Don't forget to share the channel with people so that they are being helped. Remember, we are helping souls, we are helping each other. And if we understand that, it's by God's grace that we are in every circumstances by Him. But what have you learned? What have you brought from it? And what have you come out from it? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Just leave your name. I see from you. And next week, same time, we shall be here. Next week, same time. Thank you. Love you and take care. But don't forget to watch my videos. Bye bye.